Hello and welcome back to my Let's Play of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. We are leaving off just where we're starting just where we left off in the previous episode. Today's objectives are going to be explore the Progress mining facility a bit more, kind of find out what happened, why are all these people dead, why are there just mining droids around. We saw a dude in the holding chamber on the security camera feed. So we're going to figure all this stuff out. The second objective is going to be getting enough of my consciousness stream to the internet so that I could one day be reanimated or resurrected as a digital personality, artificial intelligence type, maybe in San Junipero or somewhere similar. Alright, so we got a couple of locked crates here. This is why I put 1 point in security, even though it's not a class skill for me in the beginning. Otherwise, I'd have to bash those open. More than likely, I'd one of like a med pack or something would break, or it'd be a broken item. And I don't like my items broken. I'm like them usable. Ugh. Sorry, it's early. I'm going to take a hit of this coffee. All right. So this is part of this area is the administration section, kind of the main office, and it is littered with droids. This is where, if we were any good at stealth, we could put on that belt and walk slowly around and hit the activation switch for all the droids. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to vibro cut as many of these droids in the face as we possibly can. That was easy. As you can see, it's kind of an oval shape, lots of droids around. Here, for the first time, I think in combat, we can see this is where our force powers are. So stun droid, which is our currently only force power that we have. So you left click on it, activate hostile force power selected in the second icon. Target menu. Some force powers affect only a single target, others affect all enemies within a specified range of target. Awesome. So we stun the droid. That'll give us a chance to run over and hit it with a couple attacks. As you can see, it drained some of my force points, 35 out of 50. Which should slowly regenerate at 36. It regenerates a lot slower when you're in combat than when you're out of combat. And there are some force techniques that we can discover later that'll help us regenerate force points faster in combat, as well as affect the potency of our force powers. And then there are other forms that aren't force power related at all. They just, like lightsaber forms that are good against deflecting blaster bolts or fighting multiple enemies or things like that. Alright. We are playing the game on normal difficulty. As you can see, at least in the early game, as you might expect it's not that hard. I really don't have a method to how I select my attacks here in the queue. I just really pick whatever. I'm sure you can tailor your character to a specific attack that's more effective at each one. You know, probably look into doing that or figuring that out the further we get into the game. A little bit more difficult the combat gets. But for now, using what works. So this is that comm blister. There's a planet, Paragus, and then space. Just pick up a few emergency supplies, things early players might need. Administration computer, and then over here, if you may have noticed, is that shielded blast door or holding cell door. Why don't we poke around up here? Which the recording said could only be opened once all droids in the level have been deactivated or destroyed. Okay, so that's an airlock door. Won't open until a ship docks with it. Obviously, there's not a ship docked there right now. Could that change? I don't know. Is it hinting at maybe it will? Probably not. I'm not very smart with these things. Alright, and up here, this is where the I'm guessing this is like looks like a passenger terminal or something. Alright, so we'll stun, slice, stun, slice. And if I don't click on the enemy while after your combat has been initiated, he will just automatically pick the basic attack. And in some enemies, it takes a few seconds, but they can drop remains. It's kind of what the Q and E buttons again are useful here. I'm pressing them right now, but since this is the only interactable object in the room, it's not cycling. On the original Xbox, it could take like 30 seconds for the remains to appear. It was really frustrating at times. I didn't know any better, so I wasn't complaining too much. But it could take, can I be open with the plasma torch? Lockdown. Alright, it's a plot door. Gotta find the trigger. And then just for my own purposes, I'm going to fill out the rest of this map because it annoys me when it's not. It's a little bit satisfying when you can. I do like these displays. I want to say these are a little bit more detailed on the PC than they were on the Xbox. They don't, it's just background, you know, flavor, texture. Good for what it, 2004. Doesn't really tell you anything. Just, anyway. Administration computer. Unlike other consoles you encounter, this console has no access port. You could use to slice the system. You'll need the encryption code to unlock it. Look for the control override switch. Found a security officer's override switch. You wish to activate it. You got no other choice. That would have turned off any remaining active droids on the level. And the holding door force field is now deactivated. So allow us to...
Beyond this door, someone yet lives. Be mindful. His thoughts are difficult to read. But you have nothing
shady looking character, right?
This one, and he might yet prove useful.
But Kreia says he's friendly, so we'll trust her, because why not?
Nice outfit. What, you miners change regulation uniform while I've been in here?
He's just jealous of our shoes.
Atten Rand. Excuse me if I don't shake hands. The field only causes mild electrical burns. Oh, you mean you didn't come here on purpose? I'm shocked. I really am. This slice of paradise is the Paragus mining facility. The only supplier of shipping-grade engine fuel to this corner of the galaxy. Paragus fuel plays havoc with engines, but it gets the job done. As long as you don't mind the toxic byproducts and trying to mine it without blowing yourself up.
I apologize if I move through these too quickly. I'll try to slow down in the future. I try to shoot for the expositional lines first before I go into the progression lines.
Yeah, this asteroid belt is one giant minefield. One proton torpedo, even a stray blaster shot, can start an explosion that'll make the one that shattered Paragus II look like a kid's pop detonator. You know the planet with the exposed core you saw flying in? That hole was caused by the first mining station that tried to siphon fuel off the planet. Blew a whole chunk out of the planet and set it drifting out here in a big clump of fuel-cooled asteroids. So the miners drill the asteroids now, not the planet's surface. That's why they don't allow blasters here. Can't trust a miner jumped up on Juma Juice not to fire one stray shot that'll turn the entire colony into a thermal detonator. Do I look like some miner? Look, when I start shooting, I'm real careful who and what I shoot, even when I'm drinking. Security claimed I violated some trumped-up regulation or another. Take it up with them if you want, but they stopped listening to me shortly before they stopped feeding me. Now that's criminal.
Alright, so we asked what this place is.
You mean before or after that Jedi showed up? Either way, it's a real short story. You see, this Jedi shows up, and you know what that means. Where there's one Jedi, the Republic will soon be crawling up your ion engine in no time. But the story gets better. See, some of the miners get it into their ferrocrete skulls that since the Jedi's unconscious, they can collect the bounty the Exchange has posted for live Jedi. Well, what passes for the law here didn't like that idea. So the two groups started fighting.
Then there was some big explosion, and then I was sitting here for a long time, waiting for some half-naked miner to show up and ask a bunch of questions.
So that was our first line that we hear that mentioned a bounty on live Jedi from the Exchange. The Exchange, what is that?
The Exchange is a big crime outfit, mostly operate out of Nar Shaddaa. Spice running, gun trafficking, slave trading. Now I guess they're posting bounties on Jedi.
Let's see, he mentioned a bounty for a live Jedi, so it doesn't sound like they want to... For whatever reason, they want him alive, not dead. But we'll go with this. Why are they offering?
Don't know much about it. Maybe the Exchange wants one as a trophy, or somebody's got something against Jedi and is looking to collect. Not many Jedi left. Wouldn't surprise me if the bounty's pretty high.
So again, our character missed out on the events of the first KOTOR, during which the Jedi Civil War happened, and a lot of Jedi obviously, or of course, died and or left the Order, or went to the dark side, disappeared, what have you.
The ones that weren't killed in the Jedi Civil War ended up switching off the lightsabers long ago. Word is there's not even a Jedi Council anymore, but who knows? Yeah, Revan, Malak, and the Jedi that went to join them in the Mandalorian Wars. They turned against the other Jedi and had a scrap that almost laid waste to the galaxy. Where have you been?
So prior to the Jedi Civil War, if you're unaware, there was the Mandalorian Wars, where the Mandalorians invaded the Republic, which kicked off a big intergalactic war. Some of the Jedi left to go fight to defend those systems that were unable to defend themselves. The Jedi Council said, don't do that. We need to understand the situation first. Others, like Revan, Malak, before they turned dark, they said, no, we need to help these people. So the Jedi went and fought. Through the course of war, they kind of learned what war taught them basically how to be warriors. Some of them fell from the light, turned to the dark in order to control. Some of it was to take control to fight the Mandalorians. This is how I understand it. This is not a canon explanation or Wikipedia or anything. This is just what I've gathered by playing these two games. Was they wanted to use power and control and the Force to stop the Jedi, to stop the Mandalorians, and through that they learned, or they fell into the dark. Mandalorian Wars ended, and then the Jedi started fighting each other, since enough of them had basically just turned to the dark side through the course of ironically trying to defend the innocent. They felt the power and what it was like to fight and to be really good at it and to lead people and to have that control and maybe use that control for order to protect the innocent. Some of them just, like Malak, kind of turning your cackling evil bad guys. But whatever. But our character fought in the Mandalorian Wars, but stayed out of the Jedi Civil War.
Well, I wasn't there, but like all Sith, Revan and Malak turned on each other. After they turned on the Jedi, of course.
And then you notice none of our conversation topics ask who is Revan, who is Malak. He doesn't know what the Jedi Civil War was, but he does know who these characters were. At some point he knew them or knew of them. And then this is where you get to choose kind of the... Oh, pardon me. My apologies. This is where you basically get to choose what happened at the end of KOTOR 1. This was, of course, before your Mass Effect carry your save file from one game to the next. So through that, and they don't just assume, like, hey, the light side ending was the canon ending for the sequel. It's here you as a player get to choose through this dialogue option basically what happened at the end. And it's going to have some minor effects in the later in the game, not so much on the main story, but maybe in some of the side and minor characters and how they react to things. So the rumors I heard said Revan defeated Malik, then went to Corbin, unite the Sith against the Republic. That would be your dark ending. If you were dark side in KOTOR 1. Revan saved the Jedi and the Republic. I couldn't care less. So this is light or dark, light. I don't care. Let me ask you about something else. I'm going to go with the light side ending.
I guess. There's rumors all over space about it. All I heard was Revan returned to pay Malik back for trying to kill her in the first place. You know women.
First off, wow, right, guys? And then, this will get, this is where you choose the gender of Revan. Like, did you choose a female? Did you choose a male? Doesn't really matter, except for, again, like, very, very, very minor story beats for minor characters in this game. I'm going to go with a man, because I think this might allow us to sort of see Bastila again.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I just hoped Revan was a woman.
Okay, it's pointless. Let's go a little bit more exposition. Maybe find out what happened here at the facility.
Look, no offense or anything, but your weird half-naked interrogation isn't my idea. Hey, wait a minute. You're that Jedi the miners were talking about. Where is everybody? The miners can't all be gone, but if they are, look, hey, let me out and I can help you. I can. I've gotten out of trouble countless times.
Alright, and getting back to earlier in the conversation, the Exchange posted a large bounty on a live Jedi. So now a Jedi shows up at this Progress mining facility. You got a bunch of probably lower income, hardworking miners. Some of this see that as an opportunity to get rich. Others, including the administration of the mining facility, said, no, we're not selling anyone for a bounty to the Exchange. We're just going to get them better. We're going to contact the Republic. We're just going to get them off this asteroid. And then we woke up, everyone's dead, and the machines have taken over. So let's see if we can persuade check, tell me your plan, and we can go from there.
This facility isn't a military installation.
Success.
Which means we may have a chance. You shut down this self-security field, and I can reroute the emergency system so we can get to the hangars. We grab a ship, and then we fly out of here.
One thing first, patients in a med bay were killed with a lethal dose of sedatives. Know anything about that? We'll try to get a little bit more information.
No. Should I? Maybe you should ask one of those miners who was thinking about selling you to the Exchange. Maybe they wanted to drug you up for transport. Ever think about that?
I believe if you succeed in that persuade check, he still doesn't know anything. Try to persuade him to calm him down.
So you done interrogating me, or are we going to work together and try to get out of this mess?
Why don't you tell me what to do, and then we'll see. I might be able to fly a ship without you. I trust you if we can work together. I'll switch off the cage, cut you down, second thought. Alright, I'll let you out. Let's go nice here.
Great. Now to business. Let's get to the command console.
If you've ever read The Stand by Stephen King, this guy kind of reminds me of that Lloyd character. He gets put in prison, and then the entire population of the world almost dies, leaving him stuck in a cage. Which I guess would make us Randall Flagg, which would make us not a good guy. I don't know, maybe we can change history. Alright, let's go.
Alright, here we are. Now this console is set on automatic hail. You may have heard it when you came in. The asteroid drift charts are constantly being updated, so it sends out a transmission to incoming vessels so they don't get crushed into space dust. The hail warns them to keep their distance until orbital drift charts are transmitted, and then provides docking instructions to incoming ships, usually freighters. Thing is, you can bounce that same transmission back to the comm here, and suddenly you've got access to the communication system from the inside. Pure pizzazz. Console's ours. Now, all we need to do is reactivate the turbo lifts, cancel the emergency lockdown, and hey! This system's been severed from the main hub, after it was locked down from remote. You can't even reroute the system, it's been cut clean.
That wouldn't be standard procedure.
No. Someone tried to lock down this whole level tight and leave us here, trapped.
These are basically the same as far as conversation goes.
I doubt it. All we have is communications back. For all the good trying to shout in a vacuum will do us.
Can we contact the miners?
We could try. But if the miners were trying to trap you up here and probably kill you, why not call them and chat? I don't think a friendly call is going to wake them up.
Well, let's try anyway.
Be my guest. Not much else we can do. The comm's all yours.
Getting those light side points. Inspirational. Check administration logs. Let's see if we can get some backstory. 3 days ago.
Arrived at the freighter in. Was lucky it wasn't destroyed when it drifted into the asteroid field. Not much on board. One damaged droid, one annoying protocol droid, and a lot of bodies. Sent the survivor to medical and the others to the morgue. Didn't recognize the ship's ID code, so we transmitted it to the Republic for some answers. Questioned the protocol droid about what happened. Says his master, the survivor, I guess, was on the Republic ship the Harbinger. Suffered an engine failure. He says the survivor was a passenger on the vessel and a Jedi. If so, that's gonna mean true.
So you mentioned a protocol. You mentioned 2 droids, and one of which being a protocol droid. If you may remember from the prologue, we had 3 droids at the end. We had the 2 astromechs, and then that one scary-looking HK droid walking out of the flames like some sort of demon-possessed machine. So, not sure what's going on there. And obviously something happened to one of the droids.
Inventoried the bodies and cargo. Everything matches the protocol droid story. The T3 droid had seized up, so we left it in storage and standby mode. Don't know what code will access it. It could be it's voice activated for all we know. We put the protocol droid to work in maintenance, sorting the mining droid comm routines and updating the recognition sensors. And to shut him up. When the survivor recovers, hopefully we can get him off this station before there's a...
Oh, what? So protocol droid, the scary looking one that walked out of the fire, was put in charge of the droids.
Trouble between the work shifts. Word of the Jedi leaked out and the miners aren't sure what to do with him. Quarter's mining crew wanted us to collect the credits for the bounty the Exchange has on Jedi, but I put a stop to that. We're contacting Telos to get the Republic records on the Jedi, but nobody will... No word from the Republic. But I've sent out a Broadcom transmission for records on this Ebon Hawk. One of the miners said it used to be a smuggling vessel. Accidents are making the miners restless. The droid behavior course must be undergoing some kind of binary decay. 2 miners were drilled by a droid's mining laser, and those blasts in the ventilation tunnels nearly caused the whole facility to blow.
Doesn't sound good. Comm system. Dormitories. There is no response. Hangar Bay 25. A series of low-pitched whistles and beeps. It sounds as if there's a utility droid on the other end. Hey, it's T3 and 4. Those are happy beweets. Bedeets. You unlock the turbo lifts. Alright. See, is there another way? Emergency hatches. Same thing. Cool. I'd rather risk it than be trapped up here. Don't question my orders. Actually cancel last order. So this is nice, mean. Let me look around some more before we progress. Ooh. And we're T3 and 4 again. So this is our chance to run around as the droid. We're in a different part of the mining station, and we're going to try to open an emergency hatch. After we do some quick looting, of course. Seal door. Probably won't be able to bash it. Weld the door shut, you'll need to blast it with explosives. Alright, so let's go find some. We can check our journal real quick. Rescue Dexter. Activated T3 to unlock the emergency hatch. Light escape. T3, we need to find a console that ties to the progress command control and open the emergency hatch by remote. Cool. Then, out of touch with galactic events since the Mandalorian Wars. Maybe Creo will know more once we escape. Evan Hawk, you'll need a ship. Got it. Looking. Met an elderly woman named Creo who informed me she rescued you from the Harbinger. She said you were the only survivor of the vessel and had been attacked. You have no idea how you got off the Harbinger or how you got here. Murder in medical bay. Found record showing a lethal... Oh, we already read that one. Sorry. Alright. Let's see if we got anything. Your droid shock arm. We'll go ahead and equip the neural pacifier. So droid optimized interface. As you can see, both of these are the same slot. And then this is a motion tracker. No armor, no shields, no other weapons. So we have the mining laser equipped. Computer +2. Streamline for more efficient, thus more effective. Motion tracker, attack modifier +1. Awareness +2. Perception and tracking targets in combat. Basic stat bonus stuff. And then none. Mining laser, industrial handheld laser that can double as a makeshift blaster. Airtech SC belt, this is new. Sound dampening belt reduces all sound that a user might make. Opponents must make an awareness check versus a user stealth skill +2 or remain unaware of them. The belt additionally helps shield the user from sonic attacks. The user must have paid points into the stealth skill to gain use of the stealth mode. Combat disrupts the field, but mundane tasks do not. So this is another version of the stealth belt or stealth field generator. However, it imparts a 25% immunity versus sonic, as opposed to stealth field generator, which does not have any stat bonuses, but does allow you to go into stealth mode if you have any sort of skill in stealth. I think everything else we've pretty much seen. Reflex package. Oh, this one's new. Reflex +1. Regular energy pulses the nervous system, sharpening performance of dexterous action, and active users may suffer the odd lingering twitch. Most of your characters, I believe, are typically one level below your player character, though they do tend to level up together, since when any experience points, like any character gains, is just not distributed, but every character gets the same amount of experience. So if your player character earns 400 experience, every party member, regardless if they're with you or not, also gains 400 experience. So we got 12 computer, 6 demolition, 0 stealth, 4 awareness, no persuade, of course, 10 repair, 10 security, no treat injury. Pretty standard for a droid, especially an astromech or utility droid. Cool. Alright, so can we open this door? Low security, so probably. And there she goes. And bad guys. We'll use a shock arm. It's usually pretty effective against other droids, and even non-droid targets. Alright, let's see if we can poke around over here first. Another low security door. It's random, so sometimes failure means you have the skill to do it, you just didn't get a lucky dice roll. There's our ship. Let's go ahead and leave. T3 has found the Evan Hawk Hangar Bay 25. Now it's just a matter of finding a way to get Dexter down to the Hangar Bay. Otherwise, how else is he going to establish his 50s style diner? If that doesn't happen, Obi-Wan won't know where the cloning planet is. Alright, magnetically sealed, need a console to override to open it. Check this other door. Fuel depot door. Magnetically sealed, no amount of security, got it. Console. And hangar control. Repair tells you several parts have been removed from this console and a laser drill has been used on a number of subsystems. Despite the sabotage, however, the basic functionality was intended to be restored quickly by replacing the missing parts. So we have no parts. So we can't do it. So we have to log out. Got a couple of chests here. Let's repair kit. Doesn't really help us. And other footlocker. Repair kit. Alright, so we cannot activate the console at this time. So now we have this path that goes down, and then this door which we need an explosive to open. So we will go down. And over here some remains. These bodies will disappear after a few minutes, and then the remains will be like a little, looks like a metal box just laying on the ground. Let's try out the neural pacifier. I think it missed. One shot. Automatically locks in on the next target. For some reason he automatically went over to melee range. I didn't tell him to do that. Credits and a repair kit. No remains. If we want to look real quick, droid neural pacifier. So we see it uses 9 out of 10. We use it once. Does no damage, but it can stun, or is guaranteed to stun for 9 seconds if it does hit. Save DC 15 indicates stun. So your opponent has to roll at least a 15 to negate the stun. So it has to hit, which I don't. The beam weapons, they might always hit. I'm not sure, and it might be based just on dice rolls for the effects. I'm not 100% sure. Range medium. Automatically discarded after use. Fires a beam that is disruptive to neural pathways of biological creatures. So it doesn't say that it can't be used on other droids. But it does sound like it is it's designed for use on organic targets. Alright, then we have a door. Progress Fuel Depot. That means there's going to be a blue line here, and we're loading screen to a new section of the map. Alright, now we are just poking around. Looks like some sort of pipe with a door on it, of course. This looks like a fuel line of some sort. And more bad guys. Shock arm. Lightning bolt. Corpse. Ion Striker, Deadly Sonic Mine, and Datapad Progress Depot Survey. Any datapads you pick up automatically pop up, although you can look at them in your inventory. Purged the fuel lines and found 3 sonic charges attached to inside. I checked the work logs and only droids have been in the area. I tried to contact security as soon as I found the explosive, but I can't seem to get a signal through. I removed the remote detonators and keep the explosives on me until I can find them until I can put them in a secure hold in the hangar. So some more weird stuff happening with the droids planting explosives in the fuel lines. Special droid base item when equipped allows droids to perform special attacks. The opponent is destroyed. Droid contains an ion blaster. It's extremely effective against droid opponents and energy shields. It has only has a limited number of charges after which it is destroyed. Just like the droid neuro pacifier. However, this weapon is specifically good against droids. Scrambler is developed by Aerotech, marketed towards customers who are faced with massive droid armies. Sending a pulse of highly charged ions, this weapon destroys the electronics of enemy droids. So Ion Blast Mark 1. We also picked up the Ion Striker. Used by security droids to disable or destroy other droids, whether they be assassins or simply malfunctioning. So we got Ion Striker, 10-10, Ion, 20 points, range medium. Mark 1, 10 uses, 15 points, also with a chance to stun. And the opponent has to roll at least a 10 to ignore the stun. Short range. So more damage, possibility to stun. Shorter range, go ahead and put the Ion Striker on. And now we have some explosives so we can go back up to the hangar. There's like nowhere else we can go. More droids roll in, and they pop some shields. Typically the red shields, I believe, are energy type shields, so it should be Shadow Ion Striker. And then the blue shields, so I guess I missed. Blue shields are more the melee. Not too good at the short range sometimes. See if any remains drop. Doesn't look like it. It's usually about how long it takes. Sometimes you gotta click in the area where it might be for it to pop up. Sometimes you'll just see it on your own. Go ahead and open this door. Back away. Oh no, 3CFD! You're my favorite. Suffered irreparable damage, so I guess he's out for the count. Plasteel container, cylinder. Get some components and adrenal strength. So we needed repair parts, if I remember correctly. Ooh, got a flamethrower. And computer spikes. Maybe we need computer spikes, not repair parts. I guess nothing. We did pick up some repair parts along the way. So go ahead and use those. Functionality restored. Access. Emergency control commands. Emergency subsystems damage and op. Let's run a diagnostic. Subsystems rerouted to the fuel depot terminal. Access to the progress emergency subsystems have been rerouted to a fuel depot computer terminal, and the connecting circuits have been burned out with a mining laser, preventing remote access. Damage cannot be repaired. You'll need to find the fuel depot terminal to activate the progress emergency systems. Okay, emergency lockdown procedure activated. Let's see if we can open the door to the hangar. Failure. A conduit has been removed. Got it. The door to the hangar bay where the Ebon Hawk lies has had its power circuit surgically removed. You cannot slice the terminal or make a workaround for it out of parts. You'll need to replace the original conduit to open it. How about we open the blast door to the fuel depot? Alright. The way forward has been opened. Main functions, any hangar logs, docking takeoff procedures. Incoming and outgoing freighters need orbital drift charge transmitted from Paragus in order to navigate the asteroid field surrounding the mining colony. Without it, any vessel entering or leaving is in danger of being destroyed. Cannot transmit. The Ebon Hawk Navicomputer has been locked. You can't download the charts to the Ebon Hawk because someone has encrypted the Navicomputer. You need to find a way to get them onto the Ebon Hawk when you're ready for takeoff. Hangar logs, contraband.
A lot of cargo from the Jedi's freighter is being stored in the secure cargo hold until we can pass it through the quarantine checks. And as requested, all the programming spikes the security officers wanted confiscated have been stored there as well, to prevent further system compromises. The secure cargo hold should be safe enough. If anybody wants to break into it, they'd have to blow it open with explosives.
Now that we've already done that and gotten the system spikes.
Who ordered the mining droids to repair that Jedi's freighter? I come in here off the work shift and 3 of them are repairing the port stabilizers? Did I miss something? Is somebody planning a trip? Because orders were that the hangar was to be locked down ever since that Jedi arrived. I don't know what maintenance is up to, but you can't just commission droids for repairs, especially with half the work shifts in medbay. Those droids are needed to repair the ventilation tunnels before gas builds up to terminal levels. It's not like that ship can go anywhere anyway. Even if it had the asteroid orbital drift charts, the Navicomputer's been voice-locked. You'd need the access code to get it spaceworthy. Considering this latest droid commission breach, I'm putting the droids in this section under the control of the current dock officer. If anyone sends commands to the mining droids outside this terminal, I'll be forced to enact full override.
Fortunately, someone is planning a trip, that being us.
Looks like those droids got the vessel working again, even with all the damage it had taken. The maintenance officer still won't admit ordering them to fix it, though. Regardless, still no luck accessing the Navicomputer. It's been voice locked. Maybe by one of the corpses we found on the ship, like the old woman. If so, that ship isn't going anywhere, unless we rip out the Navicomputer and put in a new one. If we even had one to spare. The only reason someone would lock their Navicomputer is to hide their astrogation charts. Someone didn't want us to know where that ship was going, or where it had been. Only smugglers do that, or someone with something to hide. That Jedi's got a lot of questions to answer.
Alright, so the Navicomputer's been locked. Someone didn't know where that ship had been. Probably Revan, whenever he took it at the end of the first KOTOR to wherever it is he went. We don't know. Camera controls. The hangar. That's where we just were. That's where we blew open. Decontamination chamber. That's through the hangar, or to get to the hangar. Comm system is in-op. We're on a diagnostic. Purposely burned out with a mining laser. Even if you had the parts, you don't think you could contact the administration level from this computer. And we'll go ahead and download the layout. Map can be referenced in a journal screen. All exits, rooms, and important areas have their own ID signatures labeled on the map. And I think we've done everything. Alright, and the map is fully filled in, so I don't have to worry about driving around and filling it in. Alright, I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you for joining me as we continue our playthrough of Knights of the Old Republic 2. Please join me next time as we continue our journey with T3 and 4. Bye.